separate these so that they don't get mixed up. He's like, I'm coming back tomorrow because we're doubling up. He showed up yesterday and he's coming again today because he's got a concert coming up. So he's wanting.
Cool.
So he goes, can I just play my music? I said, yeah, sure. All right. So here's the deal. Okay. Today is gonna be grown-up talk, right? Because we got Tuesday. You're gonna play.
I literally have a spelling bee pre-test thing to get into the next level on Tuesday.
Well.
You got a
Double
busy
up,
Tuesday.
homie.
Yep.
So that's how it goes. So which ones? So what do we have here total? I would say, let's see if I can remember the set list off the top of my head. We got Blue, Monk. We have Speak, No Evil.
Okay.
We have Chameleon.
Okay,
We
Chameleon's
have
pretty easy. It's just the solos.
Manteca. We have Spain.
Speak no. What?
We have
Wait, Spain's not the.
Ellington. They're not in any particular order. I think Blue Monk is first, but other than that, I'm just writing down the order I can remember. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I believe this is correct. He might add more than this. He was talking about adding some song called Cherokee.
What?
Called Cherokee, and it's like 320 beats per minute or something like that. I know.
Okay.
That guy. But
so you would do
anyway, that's so. But if he's adding that, then I'll have to find out, because if he adds it tomorrow, wait, not tomorrow, Monday when we get back to school. If he adds it on Monday, odds are they'll be wanting to do it on Tuesday. And if they want to spend the whole time doing Cherokee on Tuesday, then that's not the day I want you to go anyway.
Oh.
So, but it should. I don't think so. In the meantime, though, this is what we have, right? So let's order them in what's the easiest to the hardest. So
Well,
start at the easiest. What is the easiest one?
Probably Chameleon.
Okay, so this is easy. So this is 1.
And then probably
What's
Blue
next?
Monk, I'd say.
Blue Monk is also really easy, I think. Yeah, 2.
And Speak no evil.
I think so too. Okay, I would have put those 3 at the bottom. So then now it's a matter of what's the hardest between these 3. Spain's the hardest.
Well, is the Ellington like the medley or just intro?
It's the medley, but with a different intro.
Oh, it's probably, I'd say Spain's the 4th easiest.
Oh.
Because I've got it down.
Okay, because you've been working on it a lot. Got it.
Then Ellington, then Manteca.
Okay.
Okay. Manteca's like.
I mean.
It's better.
So it's just here. So if you get used to playing your songo at this tempo. You can do that, you're good to go. So really you need to be able to switch to a swing for a while.
I switch and I the rest of it.
Yeah, and then being able to play the songo a little bit differently. So maybe using cross stick for a little bit, maybe using the bell, maybe using the cowbell. Whatever. It's the same groove, but just trying to make it a little bit different, right? If I told you to play a rock song, would you play it like this the whole time?
Oh, I did it.
No way, right? Yeah, so you're gonna change things up. You're gonna do stuff that's gonna make it more fun, right?
Also, I'm just gonna play.
For songo, it can be similar, right? So, songo, you can kind of change some stuff around, but it doesn't have to be any major changes. The easiest way to change up a feel for a songo is just move your right hand. So, hi-hat, beat 1. Yeah, you can do bells that way. You can do cowbell. There's all different kinds of things. You can do a crash cymbal. You can do whatever in order to give it some different energy without having to change your feel too much. There's also a big difference in the feel between snare and cross stick. So you can even switch back and forth between snare and cross stick. That could be fancy. Cause I told you already that your big accent is on beat 2 right there, right? That's where your big like pop. That's where. And the rest are kind of low. Okay.
My hand's really not coming over here.
That's okay. So
Bears.
I actually just had a lesson with Gabe, who's one of the high school students, and he was doing the same thing. So a lot of times what you got to do is you just got to run Songo a lot and then just transition, change. Play it on the hi-hat for 4 bars, play it on the bell for 4 bars, play it cross stick for 4 bars, play it on a cowbell for 4 bars, and just jump around and just get used to playing it over and over and over, right? Because at that tempo, if you can play it at this tempo,
Hold on, let me try that.
hold on. If you were able to play it at that tempo comfortably, then when we slow it down, you're chilling, right? No big deal. So just the repetition of doing it over and over and over again.
It's slower though sometimes.
It can be.
Cause you gotta.
That's true. Within its limits, right? So in the same way that if I told you I want you to play, look, here's the example, right? If I told you I want you to play quarter notes, no big deal, right? Literally like the easiest thing I could ask you to do, right? Okay, now what if I do this? Now I want you to play quarter notes. Right? So
Holy
there's
cow,
a
you got that
limit. Obviously, as you go into this like super mega slow, the problem is you lose track with all the empty space and you no longer hear the melody. So you want to go as slow as you can go while still hearing the melody in order to work your coordination, and then gradually speed up until that point where you start to feel yourself wobbling. It's like not clean every time. That's where you want to sit and you want to push up against that wall over and over again. Okay? So if you labeled Manteca as the hardest, I would highly recommend spending a lot of time this weekend
It's like Manteca and
just
Ellington.
doing your Songo. Just do your Songo over and over again.
Space,
Ellington, I would
space.
agree. I might flip these. Flip these two. Spain and Manteca. But that's
Spain's easier. 'Cause
you have worked Spain, you've worked your butt off on Spain, so that makes sense to me that's why that's there. Whereas for me and for most of my high school kids, I think I would swap those.
Before it would have been like Spain is way down there.
Which one's the A
The
train?
only thing that you need to know that's different, right, from your chart is the beginning. So the beginning, he's gonna count it off. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ba do 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 do. Ba boom. Do do do
Yeah,
do
I do
do
that
do do. Boom. Yeah.
I do that in the recording.
Okay, so you're doing that in the recording. Here's the thing you gotta be careful of though. Okay? Careful. This is important. If you're doing it just like the recording, Mr. E didn't hear it like the recording. So what I mean by that is that you're
Roasted
hearing
like it.
ba-boom on what beat?
Well, and.
1 and?
Or and one.
And 1. A 1. Right? That's what you're hearing. That's what's in the recording. He didn't hear it that way, so he has them going a 4. 1, 2, 3, a 4. 1, 2, 3, a 4. Honestly, I think that's a little bit easier, but I don't want you to get confused by it. The reason I think it's easier because as soon as you're done with that, then you come over to the hi-hat and now you're in the soca.
Songo.
It's 8 or songo. I do that a lot actually. I mix those words up. But it's 8 times. Do 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 ba boom. Do 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 ba boom. Do 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 ba boom. It does that. I'm going
8
faster,
times.
but it does it 8 times. On the 8th time, do 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 ba boom. Right? Because you're hitting on a 4, whereas if you were hitting on a 1, it's already now too late for your hi-hat. You'd probably have to just do a double on your foot in order to get into your songo. But
I just do
whatever the
I almost
case,
did it right there,
just
too.
understand that that's how that's going to work. Okay? So let's give that a try. I'll sing that melody part, and I want you to think a 4, not a 1.
1, 2, 3.
So you have do 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 a 4. Do 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 a 4. Do 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 do. 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 Yeah, perfect. That's how it's gonna start. Okay? Then that's gonna go on for a long time. You're just gonna do that, and they're gonna be playing this boom bop, boom bop, boom bop, boom bop, boom bop, boom bop, and they're gonna do that for he doesn't have a set number of bars that he wants to do. They're just gonna do that for a long time.
Yeah, that's basically like the recording.
And then what he's gonna do is eventually he's gonna go like that, And that's when they're gonna go, Bwah! And then, God willing, he counts you in. That's what I've been trying to work on him with, because lately it's been Bwah! Bum button butta, and that drives me crazy. I lose my mind over that. I'm like, let me bring it in, or you give a tempo, but this just sort of like, everybody hold a note, go. It's like, imagine going to like an Olympic race and they don't give you like a count off or anything. Everybody's just sitting there, they're all waiting, just go. Some people are like, oh.
Yeah, it's the on your mark.
Yeah. So, drives me up a wall. But be ready for that if that happens, because you will be frustrated, and then you will turn and you will look at me, and my eyes will be rolling so hard they're gonna pop out of my head. So don't beat yourself up if he does that to you. It is what it is. Okay, so but be ready for that to happen. The dream would be either that he counts it in or he lets you do it, because for you could just go ra da 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 ba ba da ba ba. No problem, right? I taught you that one. Have we learned this one? Think of it as a triplet TT. Yeah. Ra da 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 boom.
Except just don't break this.
Yeah. That's the classic one. So, I think if anything, I think you're getting to a point where you're really well prepared for this. What's going to throw you a loop are the things like that, the managerial things. So just kind of pointing and expecting the whole band to come in on time, or things like that. Like, that's the stuff that's likely going to frustrate you. So I want to warn you of that ahead of time, so that you're not then thinking, what the heck, everybody else can do this? No, that's not true. Everybody's struggling with it. So
he's basically just put in everybody, just expecting.
Yeah, and I don't.
How long has the players been doing it the longest? Been playing 2 years or so?
Oh, if you're talking about drummers,
no,
okay.
Like
any member of the band?
Yeah, the
I don't know.
Player.
I don't know. There's a couple sax player kids that are pretty good. I think there's a flute player that's pretty good. The trumpet player is pretty good. So there's like 4, maybe 5 kids that are pretty solid. Everybody else is sort of along for the ride, doing what they can.
Why don't you just don't have a band?
Don't have a band?
Like, if your kids are not prepared and they just started a few weeks ago.
Well, we could have a whole discussion on that, but we're not going to right now. So, okay. Good. We've got organization. So, with this in mind, I don't think I need to touch on Chameleon, Speak No Evil, or Blue Monk today.
No,
right?
I haven't done Blue Monk.
I don't think you need to worry about it.
Really
Even me, I don't really have Blue Monk in my head. I haven't heard the song enough that I just get the melody right away. But I put it on once in the car on the way here, and I went, oh yeah, he'll be fine. So.
I just want to work on Manteca, because that's the one.
So A-Train was the other hard one.
Yeah, and.
Why do they have it at 5,000, whatever?
So here's the deal, right? I've managed to kind of convince him that the beginning is sort of out of time. So there's no time at the beginning. By convincing him that there's no time at the beginning, then that necessitates a count off. So you just make a bunch of train sounds, which is ding 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 ding. You're just hitting the bell, and he wants it to sound more random. He said the more random, the better. Okay? So you don't have to keep time. You're just going to hit the bell with both hands. Ding 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 ding. Okay? And then every once in a while he wants one of these, because that kind of sounds like a train letting off steam. That kind of thing.
I get it.
So he wants a couple of those, and then what'll happen is that the horns will go whoa, whoa, like a train.
Yep.
They'll do it 2 times. Whoa, whoa, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, ba, 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 da. So that's how it's gonna happen.
Where the chording is. Ba,
I know.
ba, ba, ba.
I convinced him to not go that fast.
And how fast is it? Like ba, 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 da, ba, da.
It's about the tempo of the recording that you're using.
Okay.
I basically got him to do like 90% chart just with the special intro.
Thank you.
Because otherwise, yeah, we're playing Take the A Train at a blistering speed, and then we got to slow it way down for
everything else.
Whatever the next one is. I forget that one. That goes into like a slow swing.
I think it's don't get around much.
Yeah. Don't get around much anymore.
I haven't
So
studied the
slows
chart in a while.
way down. So it already is a decent tempo change. That would be like cutting it into like a third compared to what it was before. I go, the difference is crazy. So let's,
Yeah,
let's be
it'd be like
reasonable.
from 300 to 100. So.
Let's be reasonable. So,
And
okay.
let's not make your drummers work well.
Yeah. All right. So if Manteca is the one that needs to happen first, let's do that.
I've pretty much got Spain down. It's fast and stable.
Yeah, I do want to at least check Spain because I need to make sure that
I've been just
I
basically
believe you.
studying. I've been working on that like I'm studying for an exam,
Good.
but a college exam.
And that's part of the reason why I like situations like this, because if you're never in a stressful environment, you'll never work as hard as you are when something is on the line.
Yeah, this is like me in college, just not.
So the times that I got the best in my life were all times where I was really stressed about something and thought I wasn't going to be ready in time. And I practiced a ton. There we go. I believe it's 4. Good.
I'm getting lost.
Don't worry about that. It doesn't matter because right here there's no bars that you have to count because this is just going to go on and
No,
on
like
and on.
I can't feel it. I can't feel what I'm supposed to be playing. With all this going on, all that going on, I can't feel what I'm supposed to be doing.
Okay.
I'm guessing basically.
Well, you're very close, so you're feeling it better than you think that you are. Because if you were way off, I would have stopped you a long time ago, right? So you'll get the hang of it, because yeah, it's tough. Listen for whatever you can in the background in order to hold it. When you're in the band, it's up to you to set that. So you're not trying to lock into their tempo; they're supposed to lock into yours. So whatever they set for, do, you lock into that. Once you're locked into that, you go on your soca and you don't let anybody pull you. It's you. Yeah? So it's a little bit different because you have a recording, but when you're in a band, there is no recording. It's you.
I know what they're doing.
Yep. But they're supposed to go with you. So you can't worry about where they're at. They need to work with you, right? When you were playing Emmy Lou and they kept dragging it, you told them, nope, we're here. Nope, I'm in charge, we're here. Yeah?
And I was the youngest.
Yeah. But that's how it goes. So they bump up, 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 bump up. You're like, dude. And you just suck it to. So my favorite thing when they're not locking in is I bark that first downbeat. So I'll do it like this. Watch. So I'll be playing the soca or songo. So that's what I like to do, to be like downbeat 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1. Makes it double, triple more clear for the rest of the song. So I like to do that. However, I think to start the song, it'll sound a little bit better to be on cross stick because it's a little more mellow than this when we do it. It's not quite so big.
You don't have
So to be a little bit more mellow. And then what happens is when we get into that wah, 1, 2, 1, 2, ba 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 da ba ba da ba ba. I think that's when you should switch to like bell and snare drum, and just really like crank it.
Yeah, you don't have that.
Hey, you just got an exception to really crank it.
Yeah, you didn't even notice.
You didn't really. You get to use your normal left hand at that point.
Yeah, Mr.
That's
E.
gonna be
Mr. E has been telling Gabe. He goes, more, louder, louder. I want you to break that stick. That's what he's been saying. So, you can show him what that really looks like, right?
I'm gonna just be like, oh, yeah, listen, watch.
Yeah. Okay, so
Hold on, gotta make
I
this.
stopped you. I'm gonna back it up a little bit. I want you to try it with a cross stick. It sounds good with a snare. I just want to make sure you can do a
I
cross
can't
stick
get
too.
that like.
Oh, you have a hard time with double?
Yeah, it's like.
Are you talking about the intro hits or the
No,
The
it's
songo
songo.
part? Oh.
dude. I stick with this.
Go a little bit slower then. I see what the problem is. Oops, we were already paused. Yep, your stick is leaving the drum. So, because like when I'm doing studio work or whatever with your dad, every once in a while I'll like, I'll get like 3 hits or something like that, and he's like, oh. If you keep it down like that, you can get other hits. But as soon as this starts to float, you're gonna have a hard time. So, best way to think about that, if you scoot back a little bit. Maybe not that much. Maybe I pushed you too much. But you scoot back a little bit more. The higher up you are, the more of your stick coming out, the more likely your stick is going to be to float in the back. So when I do cross stick, check it out. I'm here. Look at how little is sticking out. I just have like the very tip of the stick. So there's not really any way that it can
I
float.
lift like what I do.
Yeah. So that's just a habit that you're going to have to break.
It's like.
Because it's gonna be valuable no matter what you do with cross stick. You start doing really fast Latin stuff, you're gonna have to do that.
I'm gonna say no, I can't do it.
Well, you can also just fix a bad habit and then you can do it.
Did you just realize something though? He's telling you to not choke up on a stick.
I'm breaking all the rules today.
Not choke up on a stick, and you're gonna hit hard if it's a song. Holy cow! What's wrong with Mr. Tim?
Okay, it's not a rock song, it's a jazz song. So now I should be okay for jazz.
I don't know about that. Okay. So the only thing I want to hear now is I want to hear the head. So we're gonna take it from the blah
I want to
and
do,
then
yeah, that. What the?
okay. I'll count it. Here we go. Hilarious, but no. So first of all, you won't have a double pedal. Not gonna have one.
No, bring mine.
No.
Sorry.
I can that was part.
So, the other thing is I need a little more organization. So right now you're sort of in between the hits because you're getting ba ba da ba ba. You're grabbing those every time. Great, you're hitting those big
Just
fingers.
like this.
It's what happens in the middle. So yeah, that in here that sounds more like a blast beat, and we wanna walk away from blast beats.
No,
So-
hold on. Put your headphones on because I'm gonna do it like full speed.
Okay.
Like.
Yeah. So those are sounding like blast beats. So we have to. We have to change up a little bit there. So
That's like all I can do.
the way that I'm teaching kids is to keep your song going there. But how can I simplify that? Yeah, how about you just treat it more like a regular group? So that'll be okay. I don't recommend. Okay. So, but I'll give you permission to that.
Oh, so like this?
Minus the double pedal.
Don't do the double pedal. Nope, we won't have one. Don't practice it with one. We won't have one.
Can't I just bring mine?
Nope,
Why not?
because we're not bringing one. So, right? So, if this was my band and it was my rules and all of my kind of stuff, I might just kind of think, it's fun. Why not? It's all good. We'll try it that way for once. Here's the deal. If I have you do something like that, you walk into a jazz gig with a double pedal, and you go and you rig something up, and we start playing Manteca, and all of a sudden you're doing blast beats, doing all this stuff or whatever, I might then have both directors coming at me like, dude, this is disruptive. Like, why? Why did you bring this metalhead kid in here to play on all these jazz tunes? It's like...
Or that actually kind of sounds good.
It could. But we want to sort of be respectful. So the way that kind of thing works is that you give it some gas, but in a way that you know that they want.
I can't go full rock?
You do that kind of thing, right? You give it some gas. If they go more, and then you start kind of adding in some little rolls or some things like that or whatever, and then they go more, well, you've crept your way into that. Great. But if they don't, because the opposite is also likely to be true. They're like, well, okay. Settle down. Just a little less. Then you have to do what the director says. Okie doke? So, yeah, let's treat this the way that if you were actually there, we need to be responsible about the way that we choose to play our music, right? Because everybody, if they have to stop because you're goofing off, then that's the rest of the band is having to stop and start over because of you, right? And we want to avoid that as much as possible. It's one thing if you're making mistakes and you're genuinely trying, but if you're throwing out some double pedal stuff and trying to run some blast beats and things, then that's no good.
Oh,
Okay.
rock drummer through and through. That's what I do.
You what?
I'm a rock drummer. That's what I
Okay.
do.
Well, you keep using that as an excuse, but I'm trying to break that habit of yours, because the better that you can be just a drummer, or a good drummer, or a working drummer instead of just a rock drummer, right? Then you get a lot more opportunities. It doesn't mean you can't play rock. It doesn't mean rock can't be your favorite. But when you identify as I'm a rock drummer and I don't do these other things, that's what's going to get in the way.
I said I'm a rock drummer. I do almost everything with jazz.
Well, we're breaking that. Okay.
That way
So,
I get all the
here we go.
Headphones,
Do it again.
dude. Yeah, just gave it a standard 2/4 backbeat. Kind of nice, actually.
Yeah. What did we just get done talking about?
I know. I'm used to it.
Right. So that's the point, right? So you're used to it, so you've built it up as a habit, and now you're doing it out of habit, which means that then when we get there, habits are gonna want to come out, right? So I'm trying to break habits. So rather than just slamming as much as you can, think about it like you're actually there. and show it that kind of attention, right? We just had this whole conversation, and then in both of them, it wasn't like the first time double pedal came out and you went, oh shoot, second time dropped it out. You just used it exactly as the same amount that you were using it before, right? So be intentional. Okay, focus. You can do it. The other thing, the first accent, boom, ba ba da ba ba da ba ba. That's an accented hit. It's not on one. Boom, ba ba da ba ba da ba ba. Boom, ba ba da ba ba da ba. So what's happening? The other two are great, but that first one has been a tiny bit late almost every time because you're wanting to hit it on the downbeat, and it's a little bit before the downbeat. Okay? So remember those two things. I'll take the double pedal off if I have to, but let's step away from the double pedal. Okie doke? Oh, that was. Two, three, four. Good. Yeah. So that's more what I'm looking for. I even noticed your volume got dialed back a little bit, which is also nice. The best strategy you can use as a drummer is leave them wanting more. So if you come in, so I think we've talked about this before, right? You've got a director and you don't know how loud he wants you to be. If you're too loud and he says you're too loud, I need a little bit less. Versus if you're a little too quiet and he says I need a little bit more. One of them will usually, not always, but one of them will usually put the director in a good mood. The other one will put the director in a bad mood. You know which one is which?
Good mood is soft.
Mm-hmm. So if they have to ask you for more, they think, oh, wow. Like this drummer's actually like keeping it under control. Okay, yeah. Give me a little bit more. That's great. If you're too loud, then oftentimes it's like, oh, another drummer that's just too loud all the time. Yeah?
And then I can bring it down though.
Yeah, of course. But see, that's the part of it that's kind of unfair, is because they're basing that opinion on all the people that came before you. And they're saying, well, these other drummers weren't able to turn it down, so I bet this guy can't turn it down either. Whereas if you start a little bit on the softer side and he goes, no, give me more, he's going to be, then you give him more. And if he goes, ooh, too much, dial it back. That's okay, because he told you to give him more. He's not then upset. So you can, if he gives you permission, he says, hey, I need some more, give me some more. Crank it, go. Because then he's like, good, he did exactly what I asked. He gave me the energy that I asked for. Even if it ends up being a little too much and he dials you back. Oh, let's split the difference. He still told you to be louder. Does that make sense? Yeah? We're trying to kind of get into the psychology of like being in a band, I guess. I'm trying to set you guys up for as much success as I can.
You're basically setting me up for college and high school.
Well, whatever you want to do. So this even applies just if you're in a band with other kids your age. If the guitar player is constantly telling you to turn down, I don't care how old he is, he's going to be mad at you. Yeah? He could be your age, he could be 60, doesn't matter. They're telling you that if they're telling you you're too loud and then you're still too loud after they've told you once, they're going to be pretty upset. Okay? All right. Good. I think that's going to be okay. I think you just need to work on your songo a little bit more too.
Let's do some Spain.
Yeah, we'll check in on Spain real quick, and then we'll spend the rest of the time on Ellington, I think.
Spain's actually pretty good. It's just
Good.
fast.
Well, I'm excited to hear it. Too close. Okay. So, first off, before anything else, awesome. I want you to feel good about the effort you put into this, because I think this is the hardest one that we've been given. At least, I think it is the hardest one to play on the drums. I think the Ellington is the hardest one to read, because the Ellington has the most like different sections and stuff. So I think Ellington tests your ability as a musician more, but I think Spain tests your ability as a drummer more. I think Spain is harder, and it's more difficult to execute even when you know what to do. Okay? So, having said that, what do you think is the last thing that we can try to conquer here to make it like chef's kiss, like super good? What do you think?
Cleaner and just
okay.
having a little more control. And
Clean
coming
this
in like on this and this stuff like that.
Oh, don't worry about that. The big one is giving them some kind of indication of where the next transition is. A small fill. Boom, 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 boom. Right, little thing. Boom, da 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 da. Rather than da 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 da. You're letting them bring you in instead of you bringing them in. You know what I mean? So this isn't
practicing the recording though.
Well,
I'm not used to bringing people in.
That's okay. The recording actually helps for this, I think. Do you know why?
Because if you mess up, it gets you right back on.
Yeah. So you can get, by doing the recording over and over again, pick one fill and do it every time. They don't need anything fancy. They don't need some big Dave Weckl style fill, right?
But it's
literally just da da boom, even just ba da 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 da, because they have a little bit of a pickup, ba ba, right? And one da 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 da, and one da 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 da, right? So they have that pickup. So as long as you put at least just a hit on 4, that would be good enough. But if you could ba 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 do 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 do, some little thing like that, it's going to go from like, ooh, he's doing a good job, to like, whoa, he killed it. You know what I mean?
But I'm not doing the concert, even if
this has never been about the concert. This is about you, Zane, being the best drummer that you can be, right? It's a chance for you to play with a band. So you get, on top of that, leading a band. You're leading the band, which is even more responsibility, right? So you're learning a bunch of difficult songs very quickly. You're leading a band. You're working with directors that you've never worked with before, kids that you've never worked with before, and they're older than you. Okay? And I'm going to be there. Which means whatever happens, I got you.
You can save me.
Yeah. Whatever has to happen. If something goes really, really bad, I'm gonna paint a disaster circumstance that would never happen. You're playing and something comes loose from the ceiling and a brick falls on your head and you're like, and you fall over and it hurts. I can, they're gonna stop you. They're gonna make sure you're okay, but I can finish the rehearsal for you. That's an insane scenario that's not gonna happen, but I'm there. Yeah? So it's okay. So anything less than that, whatever. It's all good. I got you. You get frustrated. You get frustrated because he's not counting people in. He's just pointing. And you turn and look at me like, what am I supposed to do? And it's like, here's a strategy. I got you. Worst case scenario, I could even kind of help you. 1, 2, go. Or things start getting off. One of the things I do all the time is they'll flip their jazz. They'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, right? I will actually grab their hi-hat pole and put it on 2 and 4. And
I do that to you.
And then they'll shift. So I will be standing there. So things start going bad or whatever, I will help correct you. What?
Are you going to be on the opposite drum set?
It depends. So if things are going really well, I would like you and Angel to be playing together. Or you and Gabe playing together. Whatever. In fact, with Speak No Evil, you will help Jimmy a ton just by existing, because Blue Monk and Speak No Evil, those are like, super boring, easy for you, but Jimmy is struggling on those. So for you to be there, he's going to go, okay, I can kind of hang out with him and it's all good. He has some security instead of feeling like he has to do it all by himself. So you'll really help him there. What?
Aren't you normally?
Oh yeah. But I make them do it by themselves a lot. more often than I play along with them because they have to get used to doing that because they are actually playing in the concert, right?
And the worst
So,
case scenario, you fail.
This to me, this has nothing to do with the concert. This has everything to do with when you get done with this, I want you to feel stronger. I conquered some really hard songs. I played with kids that are older than me. I played in a high school level band with top level directors. John, who's the guest guy who's been coming in and doing directing. He is
Monster.
he's a really good player. He's got a good, solid music career. He knows all these top guys. He's played with bigger people than I have. You know,
Played with him?
he's a big dude. Like he's an important guy. So when he's conducting you and he's doing all that stuff, you're working with a top-notch level guy who's doing the conducting and he's running the rehearsal. So, but you get to say that you did all of those things at 10 years old. Pretty rad, right? So then when high school rolls around, it's like, psh, I was doing this stuff when I was 10. You know what I mean? Be stronger. And that's what I
And
want.
once I'm in high school, I'll be doing
That's what I'm looking
college
for.
stuff.
Okay? So don't worry about the concert. So this time, I want you to try it. Here's the deal. If you go for a fill and you're accidentally late, because it is difficult to fill the time when it's going that fast. If you are a little bit late, just get back in. Don't even worry about it. And then go for the next section. But I want you to attempt a small fill in between sections. Okay? I don't care how small. Even if it's one note, fine. But what I'm looking for is clarity. So you have at the end of the right at the end of that you have floating time. They need to know exactly where that bop is, and you're the one to give it to them.
Wait.
So there's a difference between hitting it with them. If you hit that quarter note with them, that's great. I love it. I do a hi-hat bark there. I love that. But if you don't give them something before that, they're going to be late. Does that make sense? By the time you've already hit one, if they didn't hit it with you, they're already late. But if you give them something first, just something little. I don't care what. But just do. Actually, that's too big. I like boom. I like that
Or it
one.
could be.
Sure. Quarter notes are great. By all means. Yeah. Okay. Ready to give it a try? Try to go for a fill, even if it doesn't work out. There we go.
I don't even know where I was.
Well, you put a quarter note right before it came in. So you didn't jump back into the groove, but you put a quarter note in a spot that was clear. Here we go. You did say on your mark and get go. All right. But yes, that feeling that I'm not even really sure where I was feeling that when I first put this on. Okay? That's going to be normal. That's why I need you to practice it this way, because eventually each time you're going to get a little bit closer to knowing where you are. It is hard. I know what I'm asking you is hard. If it wasn't hard, we could do a big fancy fill, right? But because it's so hard, we're trying to do a simple fill. Yeah? It's okay if you mess it up. I messed it up. If I was messing it up, you get to mess it up, right? It's only fair? Okay. Nice. Good attempt. So, let's see if this also helps.
I tried to look at it and I'm just trying to play the song.
Mm-hmm.
That's
So, this is what we're looking at. Ba, 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 ba. So, in cut time. Mm-hmm. So, we feel it in two. Da, 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 da. Right? So that's what we're feeling.
2, 4.
Uh-huh. Yeah, you're right. That would be perfect. So if you let this sit, but you're able to come back in on one, that's perfectly fine. Ba 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 ba. 1, 2, da 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 da. If it helps, it's up to you. If this helps. This is right before beat 3. ba 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 ba. 1, 2. Right? So I'm clapping immediately after this note because that's where beat 3 is. So maybe I won't play anything there, but that's where I feel my first pulse. Boom. 2. Yeah. So if that helps, get 3. Otherwise, try to just lock on to 1, 2. Yeah? This is hard. Okay? I totally get it. Totally get that this is hard. Look at you. That was crystal clear. To me, I felt like you knew exactly where you were because boom, beat 1 came in. There it is. That's hard. None of them at Rio can do that right now. Okay? That's hard. So you might be thinking, oh, I'm just playing quarter notes. It's like, no, that's super helpful to the band. And it means you know where you are as well. Okay? Good. Good. Do that again. Awesome, dude. Because now you know where you are. As long as you know where you are, you're going to be fine. Yeah. So you check this out. You can work on it. Because then what starts to happen, because you're Zane, and I know who you are, I know how you are, right? You're going to go, quarter notes aren't enough for me. Now I want to do something a little bit fancier. Ba, 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 boom, ba, da, 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 da. You know? Like all of a sudden now it's going to get a little bit fancier. It's going to change. Because now you at least know. Ba, 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 in. So now that there's no guessing, that's why I think reading is so important. When there's no guessing, when there's no guessing, you know right where you're supposed to be, right? So this is the other one. Da 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 da, right? That's this whole section, and then when you get up here, that's ba 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 da da da. So I would say, so you did get it, by the way. It did happen. You heard it. So the thing is that it's very similar, right? Because this carries over the bar line, right? So ba 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 ba, that carries over the bar line. So you're not going to hit beat 1. So what are you going to hit? 2, 1, 2. So it's the same thing. Ba 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 boom. Ba da 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 da. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I just want to keep playing this forever. This is a good song. You heard it.
I love it. I always love the turnaround.
Finally.
I hate this. This is too hard. I don't want to do it. This sucks. And then you get the hang of it, and it's like, ooh, I can do something really hard and really cool. Like, now it's awesome. That's what I always try to tell you. Is like, man, if you hang on, you're going to love this. This is tough. You don't have 10-year-olds playing this song. It's a hard song. So.
I do have 10-year-olds playing this song.
I do now.
Me.
Yeah. So. Yeah, if this is exciting and this is fun, go home and do it today. You know, work on it, and then add in kind of a cool fill or whatever. Because again, that's the difference between like, whoa, he can hang with us? Like, that's crazy. And like, yo, he killed it. What the heck? Who is this guy? You know what I mean?
And they're going to make fun of their high school drummers.
Well, you let them do that. You don't have to worry about that part. As long as you're not doing it. I better not hear you making fun of them.
Can I just say don't do it? Can I just tell them don't do it?
Just
tell
play
who don't do
hard,
what.
have
Tell
fun.
the others don't not make fun of the drummers.
Oh, yeah, it's...
The drummers stick up for each other.
That's good.